Hey, it's Adrian, and if you currently use a password manager, just like I do, you're going to want to check out this new option from a company called Loop8, which has a passwordless system. And I know that doesn't make a ton of sense. How can a password manager be passwordless? But I'll explain. I have hundreds of accounts and passwords, both for professional and personal use, and it is a minor inconvenience because every time I launch my browser, I have to input a master password in my password manager to unlock the vault to have access to all the passwords. And that's where a Loop8 system aims to work differently, because instead of entering a master password, you're going to do all types of authentication on your phone. Also consider that most password manager systems will store your data along with every user's data in a centralized cloud location, and that makes it an easy target for hackers because they could just hit one site and get access to all of that data. And if you've been following the news, you know about another very popular password manager system that had this issue. Now, this is where the Loop8 system is different because it stores your data locally encrypted on your phone and in your own personal cloud that you have full access and control over. The Loop8 system also offers Clean Slate, which can wipe your browser history. You have the MySafe option to have a digital vault, and you also have PrivacyMate for dark web monitoring. They also have a unique True8 feature which requires multiple user authentication to get access to your account, making it much harder to hack than someone just obtaining your master password. And Loop8 is so confident in the system that they're offering a free 90-day trial without any credit card required. My experience with the Loop8 system has been great so far, but I still think there's a couple of areas that could do with tweaking, so let's take a closer look at if this could be your next password manager system. And a big thanks to Loop8 for giving me early access and for sponsoring this video. One of the first things that you'll notice with the Loop8 system, which I find refreshing, is that it doesn't ask for your name, gender, address, nothing like that. Once the Loop8 app is set up on your phone, you're going to receive an email with instructions for how to add the Loop8 extension to your browser. Once you add the extension to your browser, you're just going to open it up and there's going to be a QR code. You're going to scan it with the Loop8 app, and that's going to pair the phone with your laptop because that's going to be the primary way you authenticate everything without entering any passwords. The officially supported browsers are Chrome, Edge, Firefox, and Safari, with support for other browsers coming later in the future. The next step is going to be to import your login. Now, you can do this from your existing browser if you're not using any type of password manager system, or you can import it from your existing password manager system, and it's quite easy to do. You also have the option to manually add credentials if you prefer that way as well. Of course, there's also settings that you could change on the dashboard in the Loop8 browser extension, and to get access you're going to have to unlock the dashboard if it isn't already, and you're going to do that by authenticating the unlock request on the Loop8 app on your phone. And once you're in the settings, you could take a look at your logins, you can import additional logins, you could set sites to never remember passwords, and you could set the lockout time of the dashboard. While I prefer to make all changes on my computer, you do need the Loop8 app on your phone to make certain settings changes, such as renewing the Loop8 service, adding or removing trusted contacts, add additional email addresses for dark web monitoring, or you can even access files remotely on your phone that are stored on the MySafe Vault on your computers. Since the Loop8 app on your phone is the heart of the Loop8 system, what happens if your phone gets lost, stolen, or damaged? Well, Loop8 has two ways to deal with this. The first is that all of your credentials are encrypted and uploaded to your Google Drive if you're on Android, or to your iCloud account if you're on Apple. So now we know that our data is encrypted in our personal cloud, but it doesn't mean that we have easy access to that data just yet. Because if someone stole your phone and maybe the phone was unlocked when they stole it, or maybe they were able to bypass or guess your PIN or your swipe gestures, they could easily maybe get access to your passwords as well. And this is where the True8 feature comes in. So the way that the True8 works is that you're going to pick 8 trusted contacts in your daily life who you can trust to vouch for you to grant you access back into your account if it gets compromised, if your device is stolen or lost. And if you think about it, this is a much more secure way than just having a master password, because if someone was to obtain your master password, they could easily bypass your password manager, get access to all of your accounts. But with the True8 system, you need 3 out of those 8 contacts to vouch for you to grant you access, and it's not likely that they're going to be able to do that, so it's a much more secure system. So I actually applaud Loop8 for coming up with this approach. It's not something I've seen before, and it completely does away with having a master password be the Achilles heel in your security system. However, there is one thing I would like to change with the True8 system. Now, technically, you only need 3 out of the 8 contacts to vouch for you, and that's a good approach because what if you have a falling out with someone and you never updated your True8 contacts? So that also means technically you could only add 3 people to your True8 and have all 3 of those vouch for you, but of course it's safer to add more than 3 worst case scenario? Well, this is where I think we should have the ability to turn on a master password if we as the user want it, because the system does what it advertises. You can use it completely flawlessly without any type of passwords ever. You just do all authentication on your phone. But if I don't want to inconvenience anyone, or if I just need access back to my account ASAP, like say I manage, or I do work for a ton of clients and I can't rely on waiting for people to vouch for me, I think we should have the ability to have a master password. Now, there's ways to make it a little bit secure if they gave us the option to have a master password, such as, clicking a sequence of images in the correct order, or just clicking, our favorite images that we uploaded, or having, like a seed phrase that we could have like in our inbox amongst, the 1,000 other emails, just to make it a little bit harder than just requiring a master password alone. Let's talk about the clean slate feature, which is going to wipe your browsing activity. Now, it could wipe everything. So it could wipe your cookies, storage, or browsing history, or you can tell it, hey, just wipe my browsing history and storage, but leave the cookies. And you can choose when this activates. So it can activate as soon as you close a tab, or as soon as you leave one website and go to the next website. Now, if you're working for say 8 hours a day, you can just have it kick in after 8 hours, or you can have it kick in after 1 hour, or you could just turn the feature off if you don't want to use it. And of course, you can also whitelist websites that you don't want this to apply to. The PrivacyMate feature is great to have because when you import your logins over, you can check to see if any of those are on the dark web. Now, this is best done on the Loop8 app because you can add more than one email address to see if it was associated with any data breaches, and then make those changes to your login credentials. The MySafe feature is a digital vault or digital safe that you're going to set up on your device. I have one set up on my laptop and one set up on my desktop, and you can have up to 3 at any one time. Now, the one on my laptop, I disabled the option for safe sync, and what that means is that the contents of the digital safe are not going to be uploaded to my online cloud, such as my Google Drive or iCloud account. So if the laptop gets stolen or damaged, well, those files are just gone. The safe on my desktop, I did turn on the safe sync option, and that means that the files are also going to be stored in my personal cloud. It also means that when I have the Loop8 app open on my phone, I can also access those files on the phone that are residing on my computer, which is pretty handy. So I found a limitation with the MySafe Vault, and that is that it's locked to 200 megabytes and you can't expand it. Now, it is possible that for your work purposes, you may have files that are larger than 200 megabytes, so it would be good to expand it. Now, I think one of the reasons maybe is that if you enable the safe sync option where it syncs those files to the cloud, they don't want to, surpass or exceed your cloud storage. But if you have, a lot of cloud storage, I think we should have the option. One thing I found a bit peculiar is that while you can have up to 3 of the MySafe vaults, it seems to be limited to, like laptops and desktops, because I didn't find an option to create a digital vault on the phone where the Loop8 app is residing. And I think that's a big missed opportunity, because what if I want to move photos, videos, contract files into that vault? I don't have that option, so I hope it's something they consider in the future. Once you set up the MySafe Vault on your device and you want access to it, it's actually very secure. So to open up the safe, again, you don't need to put in a password. You're going to authenticate the open request on the Loop8 app on your phone. Then once you're inside of the vault and you want to open up one of those files, you have to authenticate even opening up that individual file on the phone. So it's super secure. Now, if that's going to be annoying to you and you just want to open up the vault and not be prompted every time you want to open up a file, you can turn this feature off for 5 minutes, or you could just disable it completely so it's not asking you when you open on files. But if you're someone who's forgetful, you walk away from a computer, the vault is there, it's good to know it can be that secure. So before trying the Loop8 system, I was using Bitwarden, which also worked well for me, but it was always a minor inconvenience because every time I would start my workday, open up my browser, I would have to input that master password, sometimes more than once because I would get it wrong. It is a fairly large password. And with this system, there's no type of passwords at all. I just authenticate on my phone. The other thing is I'm always wary knowing that all of my credentials are up in the cloud, even though it's encrypted. Given what happened to the other major password manager system, it's always a cause for concern. Now, even though with the Loop8 system, it is in the cloud, it's in my personal cloud, it's less likely to get hit than, a central repository where hackers know all of the passwords are residing. So if you're looking for a password manager system or you're looking to replace your current one, the Loop8 system is a great place to start, and it really does act as your own personal privacy controller because everything is just stored locally on your phone or to your personal cloud where you have full access. Loop8 cannot help you get back into your account. That's going to be through the True8, so you really do have complete control. Pricing starts at $9.99 US per month or $95.99 US for an entire year, which is a savings of 20%, and you can use it for up to 8 users. But if you use my access code down below, you're going to get a free 120-day trial, which is 30 days more than a 90-day trial on the website. You don't need to input any type of credit card information. You can give it a try, see if it's worth it for you, and go from there. The Loop8 app is a brand new offering, and while my experience has been fantastic so far, it's always important to do your own research, see what other people are saying, and to try it out for yourself to decide if it's worth it for you. I'm really happy with the security measures in place. I like that, there's many layers to be able to access your account or to access files on the digital storage. And I like that they don't request a lot of information from me. So it really does seem to be very privacy focused and minded. I'm curious to see what you guys think of the Loop8 personal privacy controller system. Is there anything you would like to see added, or does your current password manager have something that this doesn't offer? I'm sure Loop8 would like to know, and I really hope they take my recommendations for the True8 contacts and for the MySafe Vault. And as always, if you found this video helpful, or if you'd like to see more videos like this, please consider liking and subscribing. It really does help me out a lot, and I'll see you in the next one soon.